Hey, so we're back. I'm Blaine and this is...
I'm Matt.
And we also have Dylan. And then Josh is going to help us out with this one as well. So if you remember last time we talked about a raised system. Now we're going to talk about a lower system. So let's do a quick review. We've got our anchors picked out. Our anchors come to a load distributing system with the bear paw already in it. And the equipment we're going to need for a lower system is number one, our rope taking us to the load. Number two, a carabiner to attach us to it. And the final thing we're going to need is the rack. Matt's going to go ahead and start loading this rope into the rack. The rack can be loaded from 2 bars to 6 bars, depending on how much friction is needed to lower the load. So if you have a heavier load, you're going to load more bars into the rack. If you have a lighter load, you're going to load less bars into the rack. For this demonstration, and for most applications that we're going to be using here, we're going to use 4 bars. 4 bars provide enough friction to lower most of the loads that we'll deal with here in Marietta. This is what we're going to talk about as well. Right now, he has soft locked off this rack. Next thing what he's going to do is he's going to show you how to tie off the rack, okay? So he's going to wrap 1 time around, 2 times around, and then when he comes up, he's going to do an overhand knot around the entire rack. So here's his overhand with slack pulled up from the bottom. Here's the load. And now we're going to go ahead and load this system. So the system is now loaded. You can see that the load transfer is through the rack back into our anchors. So at this point, we're going to start lowering our load. The first thing Matt needs to do is untie his overhand that he's got around his rack. Pull out the slack, untie one and the second. And then at this point, his control of the load is in this hand right here by keeping these bars together and pinched on this rope. So go ahead and undo. Once he's pinched, he will slowly start loosening the grip that he has, and as he loosens, he allows the rope to be fed through the rack, allowing the load to move further and further over the edge. If we get to a point where we need to stop, he just pushes forward and wraps. If we get to a point where we're going to do some work, he can tie off. But most applications, if we stop, we can just wrap once and then continue to lower when the rescuer is ready. So go ahead and undo, lower a little bit more. Okay, we're good right there. Wrap 1 time, 2 times, and then we're gonna have the tie off to just finish it off. Again, that's just an overhand around the entire rack.
Well,
good. And that's our lower system.